Hello and welcome to another interesting segment of the newspaper review here on TAF TV for today, the 28th day of July 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius and thanks for joining me. Well, it's been a very rainy day out here in the city of Port Harcourt, a very rainy day, but that will not stop us from bringing you the interesting headlines in the papers for today. And as usual, taking a look at the papers with me is Mr. Victor Sioku. You're very much welcome to join me, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, sir, it seems that the rain is actually taking a different toll this time. Because yes, if you observe for some time now, it hasn't rained. So yeah, I was thinking maybe it has stopped finally.
No.
But unfortunately, it's back again.
Yeah, some person said August break came too early, so maybe that's just what happened, and we just have to brace up. Right now, mind you, NEMA has come out to say there will be floodings in many cities. So what does that mean? You should just be careful. Our drainages should be left open. No dumping of refuge in our drainages. If we have waterways that we need to go and dredge,
to try to clear them off.
Make it open and let water flow freely, because if water doesn't flow freely, it will come to your doorstep, I guess.
Okay, and to begin the newspaper review today, we shall be taking a look first at the Vanguard newspaper, and amongst the headlines in the Vanguard, we have here the boldest write-up in the Vanguard here says tension grips Abuja, environs over rising insecurity. Okay, tension grips Abuja, environs over rising insecurity. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard. And next on page 7 we have governors rejects proposed national water resource bill. Governors reject proposed national water resource bill. That's on page 7. And on page 8 we have economy doing well under Buhari than previous government, according to finance minister. Says economy doing well under Buhari than previous government. That's the finance minister saying on page 8. And on page 36 we have 2023 Senate caucus wades into PDP crisis, meets with Atiku Okowa. Okay, you can get all the details on that headline on page 36 of the Vanguard. And on page 7 we have subsidy regime probe, profile of 23 oil companies not known, according to reps, on page 7. And next on page 8 we have body of benchers does not interfere with discipline of lawyers. That's according to Olani Pekon. Okay, on page 8. And lastly, on the Vanguard today, we have FEC okays Nigeria airs lease of aircraft to commence operations. That's on page 8. Okay, before we move straight to our next paper for today, Mr. Victor, what do you have to say concerning the headlines in the papers?
Okay, the tensions in Abuja. Okay, so just on Tuesday, there was gunshots at near life camp in Abuja. Yeah, Abuja people know where I'm talking about, and people that visit Abuja know where I'm talking about. So it's not just about the near life camp in Abuja. Okay, we still have tensions at Apo. We still have tensions at Local Goma. We still have very strong tension at Lube. I'm not also forgetting Kuje, where the invasion was carried out, as in the invasion at the prison. There was the prison break happened. Okay, so you find out that where we have the seat of power, there is so much tension. So let me tell you reactions from some persons that I know that have properties in Abuja. I spoke with some persons over the week, and there is so much tension. In fact, some of them are even regretting. Like one I spoke with, he's regretting that he has a property in Abuja, where you know that Abuja has been, in quotes, the safest place in the country. So the person is regretting, why is it that I did not use this money to buy property outside the country?
Okay.
Can you get that?
Okay.
Why some are saying that, man, I'm regretting this Abuja I came to. I could have built my house in Lagos.
But should it be surprised? Should it be a thing of surprise to actually have such tension in Abuja?
Oh, sure.
Why? Because it's the should I say the most secured place? The most secure place in the country. You think, okay, it should be the safest. But come on, don't you think it is actually also logical that since Abuja is seen as the safest place, then that could be where these hoodlums and criminals and terrorists will actually want to attack first?
Well, just like, oh, sorry, I'm trying to make a very crazy similarity now.
Okay.
Just like imagine Washington, D.C. You hear that in Washington that there is so much fear because terrorists want to attack the great Washington, D.C.
Most times it's to prove a point, don't forget.
Oh, yes. But in Nigerian case, we know that
we can get to you if we want to get to you.
We know that power, due to the power in the federal capital territory, the amount or the intensity of power that we have, because we have like 109, okay, the 109 senators that we have, all of them in quote have properties in Abuja.
But the Abuja right now,
our governors have houses in Abuja. The top politicians that we have today, they have houses in Abuja. What attracts them to Abuja, you ask? Security. Because they are secured. Even governors, even from the northeast that is being bombarded, they live in Abuja. Because of what? Abuja is this most secured city in Nigeria.
But Mr. Victor, maybe these guys actually want to prove a point. Don't you think so?
No, sure. See, I think
so
that
these politicians who feel that they are secured
and they feel like, see, them attacking northwest and northeast is normal now for them. There are no.
So they want to explore new boundaries now.
Yes, there are no more
new
like a defense, nothing. They just go in and they just strike. So more like they have powers everywhere in the north, northwest and northeast.
Okay.
Now they are coming to the center.
So the recent attacks on Abuja right now, do you see it as, should I say, testing the waters now for the terrorists, or you feel like they have more to give?
No, I think from the threat, the level of threat that these guys have given out, I think, unfortunately,
there should be more.
Let me put the quote now. If our security agencies do not come out and do their part, that means this could really work for them. Mind you, just on Monday, 8 soldiers, 1 captain, 1 lieutenant, and 6 other soldiers were killed in Buhari local government that I mentioned to us 2 days ago. That they left the law school because there was this intelligence that they will be struck, that the Nigerian law school will be attacked by these miscreants. While coming back from giving the report, they were killed. Now, what has happened too is that most schools, private, secondary, private and government schools, both primary and secondary, have all shut down. Even private universities, as it's going. In fact, do you know that 2 days ago...
They have to shut down, actually.
Do you know that 2 days ago, a circular was released from the Ministry of Education that schools should tidy up their exams and shut down on Wednesday. Yesterday, being Wednesday, a school wrote 11 examinations on a day, on a particular day. 11 examinations, just so that they will close and let them leave. So it's becoming so scary. We are on our scary times right now in Abuja, and it's very, very, very sad and unfortunate.
Okay, Mr. Victor, let's draw the curtain on the Vanguard and moving on to the Daily Sun now. We have here amongst the headlines in the Daily Sun. This one says, Presidency threats. Presidency threats as senators threaten to impeach Buhari. Presidency threats as senators threaten to impeach Buhari. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. And on page 29 we have Asagba embargoes burials in Asaba. That's on page 29. Asagba embargoes burials in Asaba on page 29. And on page 28 we have ASU strike. Labour shuts down Abuja in solidarity protest. That's on page 28. Labour shuts down Abuja in solidarity protest. That's concerning the ASU strike. And on page 29 we have 2023. This one says, we will uphold integrity of the ballot. INEC chair, that's coming from INEC chair, says we will uphold integrity of the ballot. Okay, and on page 4 we have, on page 23, I beg your pardon, we have National Carrier, Air Nigeria to take off with 3 leased aircraft. That's on page 23. And lastly, on page 4, we have 2 killed 3 policemen injured as armed robbers attack bullion van in Abia. 2 killed, 3 policemen injured as armed robbers attack bullion van in Abia. That's on page 4 of the Daily Sun. Okay, Mr. Victor, before we move straight to our next and last paper, what do you have to say concerning the headlines in the Daily Sun?
So it's the impeachment season right now. Yeah, mind you, just recently Oyo State impeached their deputy governor. Okay, now it has come to the federal. The tension now is at the federal. Just after these attacks in Abuja, the senators have come out.
But Mr. Victor, let me ask you a question, please, before we continue. Is it surprising? Should it be surprising that the senators are actually seeking to impeach the president at this point in time?
To me, it's surprising.
Why?
Because they could have done this way before now.
Okay.
Okay? They could have done this way before now.
Okay.
Now that the tension is coming close to their houses, they are not coming out. Most of these senators, like I mentioned earlier, live in Abuja. Now it is coming home. Yeah, it is coming home. So they are not coming out to scream.
Your use of the word is coming home is actually funny, right?
Okay.
So it's coming home.
Yes. Yes, because they are running from their hometowns. So they are in Abuja and it's coming very close to them. So, okay, out of 109 senators that we have, okay, yes, the minorities are the ones that came out, the minority caucus, which is mainly of the PDP extraction, okay? Now, we have, out of the 109 senators, we have 52 from the APC, which makes them the majority. Why the PDP is 50. So we have 52 APC, 50 PDP. So the PDP are on a normal ground are the minorities. And mind you, they just got some powers, as in the PDP had some more numbers just after the primaries that happened, that most senators that the presidency or the APC gave assurances that they will be coming back as senators. Most of them did not get tickets, so they ported to the PDP. Okay. Well, I just have to make this point. You know me now. I always tell you, all these senators, all these politicians. Yes. Once you are in the APC, I see you as a PDP person, because they can swap flags, swap broom and umbrellas at any given time.
They are never stable.
So yes. So we have the PDP 50, we have the APC 52, we have the ADC. We have the ADC 2, and we have the ABGA 3. Okay, but as of yesterday, it was just merely PDP senators that came out to voice out that they will giving the president 6 weeks to transform whatever is happening with respect to security, majorly with security, and if nothing tangible is being done, that they will impeach him. Now, let me go to the other side of the story. You want to ask something? Okay, no, let me go to the other side of the story.
Finish first.
Okay, so we have these senators that came out after this, after the Senate president threw out the request from one of the senators making pronouncement that the security of the country has gone so bad that the president needs to do something, and he needs to do it fast. But unfortunately for the House, I call it unfortunately for the House, the Senate president did not take it lightly. Okay, and that was how they walked out.
Okay, so Mr. Victor, sorry, I want to ask a question. You know, before the insecurity issues got so intense in Abuja, there have been other cases of insecurity in the country, and these senators didn't raise such alarm, didn't move this fast in trying to impeach the president. So their recent move, or should I say attempt, in trying to impeach the president as a result of the rise in insecurity in Abuja, does that in any way justify the fact that they only think and value themselves in this country and not the common man? Because I don't know, I feel this move actually gives more truism to the fact that they value the common man less than themselves. it's always about themselves, because
See,
there have been other cases of insecurity. People have been dying here and there, and they have not moved to say, okay, we want to impeach the president. But because it's now in Abuja, they are now coming out to say they want to impeach the president. Why are they doing this now?
Mr. Cyril, we've made our politics so lucrative. That is why we are seeing all these things. Just imagine in a situation whereby these politicians or these political office holders are not getting this largest amount of allowances and monies. You find out that it will not be business as usual. I think it starts from the foundation, because these guys, just like you say, they do not care about the people. Most of the times, they want to go back there and get monies.
And it breaks my heart whenever I see youths of these days, kill their fellow youths for these men.
Oh, sure.
It happens.
Sure.
They go as far as, taking the life of someone else just to make sure that their preferred candidate, whoever they support, gets into power.
And why do they go that far? Because of the hope or the aspiration that they will give them money.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It also goes down to the unemployment in the city, in our nation rather. Okay, because these youths have nothing to do, so these politicians use them to get to that position whereby it's an investment. It's an investment, so they throw in money to get like 10 folds of whatever they throw in, and our constitution has allowed this to happen, because these guys, they know that once they go in there, they'll pull out funds. So for me, what is happening right now, I call it they are more like doing busybody and eye service, especially from the PDP. Well, where have they been before now?
Obviously.
Coming out at this time to say they want to impeach, why are they even giving the president 6 weeks? I ask. Why are they giving them 6 weeks?
As long as 6 weeks.
As long as 6 weeks.
What for?
As far as I'm concerned, they just want to make a point that when this was happening, they did something. They did something like this.
Okay.
But if it's about impeaching the president, my brother, it will not happen. It will not happen. Okay. Why will it not happen? You ask me. Because they need to even get they need to get 2/3 of the House of the 109 senators to vote to vote for impeachment.
So you're saying the threats are empty threats right now?
No, empty threats now, because even the half of the House, which is the APC, about half of the House, the 52 APC legislators that we have in the upper chamber, you find out that many of them will not want to impeach the president, because if they impeach the president, that means they might not get back their seats.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. They might not get back their seats. So why would they want to impeach the president at a time like this? So for me, Nigeria should just I don't want to use the word prayer, but it's turning into that, because we just have to wait out this tenure to elapse, and we pray that in coming election, Nigeria should make a better choice come 2023.
All right, and that will be the much we can take in the Daily Sun. And before we move straight to our next and last paper, which is this day, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll finish up the papers for today. Thank you so much, and please stay tuned.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
That short break, and continuing now from where we stopped, we shall be taking a look at this day. And amongst the headlines in this day newspaper, we have oil theft, petrol subsidy push Nigeria's currency to 700 naira per $1 in parallel market. Oil theft, petrol subsidy push Nigeria's currency to 700 naira per $1 in parallel market. Okay, and next we have, this one says, federal government responds to this day's report, explains ECA depletion. And next we have terrorists continue attacks in Kaduna communities as police deny shooting on Dantata Bridge. Ministers hail that on page 34. And on page 8 we have universities closure, labor protest grounds activities in Abuja. That's on page 8. And lastly we have over 80 senators, majority House members move to impeach Buhari over insecurity. Right, that's the much we can take in this day for today. Before we call it a day, Mr. Victor, what do you have to say concerning the headlines?
Dollar is 700 naira now. A dollar is now 700 naira, and you know what that means. It means that if you are earning 700,000 naira in this country, which is very high, a month, okay, that means you are making $1,000 in a month. Wow. And what does that also mean? It also means that when you are buying imported goods, you will be buying it way more than you should have bought it maybe a year or 4 years ago. As in, when I mean, many a times you are getting like 150% off the former value. Okay, it's quite unfortunate that we've been watching and looking at our ECA, like you mentioned, our SS crude account being depleted, where we are supposed to pull out funds to calm the financial pressure down. We do not have such funds anymore. We also talk about oil theft. Oil theft has also reduced the BPD, that's barrels per day, barrels per day of oil that we export out of Nigeria. Mind you, like I said, 1.7 million PPD is what we are supposed to export on a daily basis in Nigeria. But oil theft and the saboteurs that we have in high places has made it unfortunate for us to just be doing 1.2 million. Even the other day it was just 1 million barrels per day. Okay, it's also not even the problem. Now the problem furthermore is when you start talking about oil subsidy, you find out that the monies that we are supposed to make from selling this our product, we use it to subsidize petrol.
So, Mr. Victor, sorry, but right now, where do you think this leaves us as a nation?
Now, I see it as the second pandemic.
Second pandemic.
It is not now about COVID. Right now, Nigeria is facing pandemic of not having money. Look at the streets. Go to town. Go to shopping malls. Nothing is happening. Shops are empty. People can't do business. We went to cover a documentary just yesterday. We went to Apapa, NPA Wharf in Onne. You notice that importers are no longer bringing in goods. You see the agents, custom agents everywhere, littered everywhere. Nothing is happening. You see our youth littered by the gate side. Nothing is happening. No business. People are no longer importing. Okay, you now question, okay, but we are supposed to be importing. Why? Because we still have agriculture to improve on, meaning that we need machineries. We do not produce those machineries. We need drugs. We do not produce the required number of drugs. Are you getting me? We need some chemical products aside the textiles and all that other things. But you find out that even our industries to perform, the cost of running industries now is so high. People are no longer buying. fact, right now, even luxurious products, people are not buying because of the high rate. People are right now is about fees. You pay your house rent, you pay your you pay for your feeding, you pay for water, you pay for virtually everything in this country.
I think nowadays
it's rising.
I think nowadays almost 80%, or should I say 90% of your earnings go to feeding now, because you have to eat to stay alive.
Yes. So what's the effect of this rise? It means that transportation will increase. Mind you, the diesel that we use is not under subsidy. We are buying diesel the rate we should buy it. Are you getting me? The government is not subsidizing that. You know, I'm no longer I was an advocate of subsidy, but for the past 4 years now, I don't wash my hand come out for subsidy because
why?
Because that money, we should be using that money to solve other issues in the country, education, agriculture. And when you improve on these things, it reduces pressure from the government, because people are working. But in a situation whereby persons are out there on the street, no jobs. So if you don't work, how will the country collect taxes that will help the economy? So right now, as far as I'm concerned, we should look into the CBN. I think the time for Emefiele is way gone. We should bring in people with fresh ideas. He brought some ideas, no two ways about that. When he stopped selling to the Bureau de Change, he started giving them. They are selling on the CBN rates to the black marketers. Right now, it has yielded zero effort, zero result, because from the time, it's about 1 year now, from the time that they stopped selling to them when the dollar was way above 500, just a bit above 500 till now, we've done nearly 30%, about 30% increments from that time till now. Okay, mind you, he also brought although not just him, they brought the idea to shut down our borders, so that some commodities does not come in. Somehow, I think they did not do everything that was needed, because after shutting down the borders, food became so expensive, down to the rice that, in quotes, they say that we are sufficient with respect to rice. Keep on that. Even till date, foreign rice is still, in quotes, almost as the same price with local rice. So you ask, a government that came in when rice was 8,500 naira, now rice is 35,000 per bag.
Wow.
So a whole lot of things have gone bad. It's unfortunate that we are in a country that our presidents do not resign. They want to stay, and not just the president, our leaders, they just want to stay there and stay at their time. In fact, if you even tell our president to stay for another term, a third term, he will embrace it. So it's so unfortunate.
Power is sweet.
Power is sweet. God. Right now, we should be talking about how to reshuffle the cabinet.
Yes.
For me, their ideas are stale. It is not working. You know they work. They should just give way, so that another person should come in and bring fresh ideas.
I think football will say change the manager. Bring in a new manager for new tactics, new ideas.
Like Chelsea.
Okay, Mr. Victor, thank you so much for your time on the show today. We really do appreciate, and we also appreciate you who has been watching us, who has been faithful to your screen. We say thank you so much, because without you, we would not be here. That is a fact. But unfortunately, whatever has a beginning has an end. This is where we have to call it a wrap in the newspaper review for today. Thank you so much once again. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and don't forget, you can also be a part of the show. If you have any questions or suggestions to make, drop them in the comment section of any of our social media platforms, and we promise you we will react and respond to them. Don't forget also to visit www.thavmedia.com for your latest information on every area of life. Okay, so until we come your way again next time, to have a blessed and wonderful day. My name remains Cyril Aloysius. Bye for now.